Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us tmosso@the1916company.com. It is in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platform. Reach out to tmosso@the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. Today, we are discussing a watch dedicated to an American folk hero. Top golfer Bubba Watson from Milton, Florida in the Texas Panhandle has not one but two Richard Mille timepieces named in his honor. One is the RM38 and the other is what you see here, launched back in 2012. This is the RM055 Bubba Watson. It's made of white ceramic, which has superb scratch resistance at 1400 Vickers, and it measures 42 millimeters from side to side, 13.3 millimeters thick, and then from lug tip to lug tip, 49.8 millimeters. And you can see how cambered the case is. It does have an arc that helps it to fit around the wrist. And being made primarily of rubber, titanium, sapphire, and ceramic, it is almost toy-like in its feel in the hand. It is very light. So here we are on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can really see how that underlying curvature makes RM ergonomics all they're cracked up to be. And you can also see that while the strap does protrude outward, the case itself is far inboard of the edge of my wrist. So I could recommend this for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference, just aesthetically. I don't think you want it to be too big. My wrist is 16. I think it could go down to 15, and it's very, very comfortable. It's not thick, but it is sort of sheer and vertical, so it could get hung up on the tightest dress cuffs, but it should be okay with jackets. So if you do win yourself a green jacket and you're like Bubba, you could fit it over this watch. Taking a quick look, you can see that we've got a matte ventilated RM factory strap. RM straps, unless you go custom, they're always OEM pieces. Custom makers will construct one more expensive than a standard strap. Then again, if you've got a watch like this, it deserves the best. You could see that the watch has little hollows in its flanks that extend visually into the straps. They're little ventilated gills in profile. You can also see on the bottom that this is a brand new RM factory strap. No crimping, no gouging. It is quite pliant and flexible. We have the GNF Chatelain design double leaf spring system, titanium leaf spring here. And what it manages to achieve is, without any kind of locking mechanism, it has a very positive and forceful closure. Once you close it, it stays that way. And inertia, the swing of a golf club, certain rapid jerking motion of the wrist, it's not going to throw this open. And it is titanium inside and out. Once you pull it past a point, the elastic action of the titanium snaps it open, but it also snaps shut, so it's secure. You can see the profiles with the RM signature spline screw, but then take a look at the attention to detail here. We have both satin finish and then media blasted recesses, so they really thought about how to detail that part. You can see that, like the case itself, I believe the buckle, just the buckle is a Vol'Jin product, but you can definitely see that the Vol'Jin stamp is on the case. Vol'Jin is a stakeholder in Richard Mille. It makes the cases. The watch is sporty, but we are talking about land sports here, so 30-meter water resistance. You don't want to take this swimming. On the reverse side, you'll appreciate that we have those spline screws that run through little columns in the profile and bind the bezel to the case back. The mid case is slightly recessed. The spline screws are matte finished, so everything here really is matte finished with only a handful of exceptions, one of which is the polished inner bezel, which is bright and explosively reflective. We also have this lovely cambered sapphire, and that's a wonderful piece because it is difficult to fit a non-flat sapphire, especially a non-round non-flat sapphire. So RM putting all of its focus and energy into building a robust and challenging case. And again, this is white ceramic, and it is extremely scratch resistant. I don't see a single permanent mark on this case. There's a little polymer shoulder for the crown, which is media blasted titanium, and then we have a flange made of composite that sits around the center dial, which is one and the same as the movement. That little flange holds the hour indices, which are luminescent, so let's do a quick lume shot right there. And you can see all three hands, including the seconds hand, are loomed. Pulling the crown out real quick, you'll appreciate that we can set this watch precisely because it has hacking seconds. The movement features a combination of skeletonization, satination, and then Titanite material to give it that darkened aesthetic. While some of the levers, the springs, and the clutch material, you can see the train wheels basically alongside the keyless works. This whole keyless works structure is made of steel. All the bridges and plates, such as they are made of grade 5 titanium. And there is a rubber elastomer that runs all the way around the movement, and it separates the movement from the case structure, and that rubber buffer acts as a shock resistance mechanism, allowing this watch to withstand temporary impulses of up to 500 Gs, or 500 times gravity, which makes sense given that it is a golf-themed watch. Taking a quick look, we'll get a little bit closer. You can see how the keyless works operates. It's all handsomely finished, so although the parts come from Vaucher origins, they've been customized extensively for this RM application. You can see the keyless works with the crown wheel engaged with the intermediate wheels. You can see the minute wheel and the hour wheel operating at center. So keyless works, motion works. Motion works moves the hand. Keyless works activates the motion works and also is responsible for winding. You can see now I've engaged the winding pinion right there. And the watch has 2 barrels, endowing it with a 55-hour power reserve, as well as a very flat torque curve due to the 2-phased mainsprings in the twin barrels. It is free-sprung for durability against shock. It's got a 4 Hertz beat rate, and it pivots on 24 joules. You can see that it features clear sapphires because synthetic rubies wouldn't look as natural on this sort of technologically oriented movement. And then on the reverse side, you can see the twin barrels are partially skeletonized, allowing you to see the mainspring. And we have that free-sprung balance. You can see the little Vaucher star on the base plate, indicating that is the origin of the movement. But again, everything on this movement, its own mother wouldn't recognize it. Highly customized for the RM application. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916 Company for purchase and pricing details.